Have you ever imagined that a simple Lego build can turn into something with amazing play features and that a few Lego parts could be used to build addictive fidgets? In this video, besides the satisfying Lego creations, I'm showing you more genius building ideas such as turning this pumpkin into two fully armed battle droids. Okay, let's start with the pumpkin. First, it can be separated into two pieces which both work independently. You can activate it by unfolding its legs, because all of them are attached to the body with Lego bars and clips. Then you will find a hidden turret in the center of the body. Made with Lego pistol pieces, the turret can be deployed at your will. Since there are so many movable joints, you can make lots of poses out of it. The same structure also applies to the other half of the pumpkin, which has 8 legs as well and a center laser cannon. So you don't need any modification to build these battle droids out of a pumpkin or to restore the pumpkin shape after the battle. Next build starts with a simple square shape. We attach 4 corner pieces to make it look like a cube, but it has gaps on all 4 side faces. Then we need to build another one which is connected with a Lego bar on one face because it's designed to fit into one of the gaps in the first cube. Next, we need to build some new cubes with bars on 2 adjacent faces because these cubes are used to connect the earlier cubes to make a bigger square shape. The final step is to cover the tops with green Lego plates. Now we've just made a Lego terrain that looks like a Minecraft scene. The interconnected cubes are movable and you can easily shape the terrain simply by lifting cubes at different locations. Imagine if I had thousands of these cubes, it would be more than satisfying. This is a Lego soccer, and let's continue by making a satisfying fidget with it. This happens inside a box, and we are starting with these Lego slope pieces. Put 2 slopes in the box facing each other, and we are making 2 more slopes on axles. Why? Because we need these slopes to kind of float in the box so that when pushing from the bottom, the slopes will move up and down. Now drop the soccer into the box and witness an infinite loop fidget for the soccer. I find it very satisfying, especially as a self-made stress relief toy. Next, we are building this hilarious big mouth with a Lego hack. You know, it's not easy to build curved shapes with Lego, but how can we make these teeth and gums? The answer is to use a Lego bracelet. It's soft and flexible, making it perfect for matching the size of the mouth. There are also enough studs to attach teeth to it. We'll need 2 of these, and after that, we can wrap them around the mouth to complete the teeth shape. Ever since we were kids, one of the first things we do with Lego bricks was build a bridge. But how does this bridge stand up? Because the studs clip together. What if you can't clip the studs to reinforce the bridge? Obviously, the bridge will fall. Is there any way to build a bridge only with smooth Lego bricks? The answer is to use slopes. A lot of slopes. With these slopes and a long, narrow base, we can actually build a bridge. This is made possible by stacking the slopes to form an arch. Without any studs, the slopes can still hold Harry Potter's weight. What about a much heavier guy like the Hawk? Well, it also works. The weight is distributed in different directions and the bridge stands just fine, unless I remove the keystone in the center. In the next build, I want to use these Minecraft stickers to make a cube, but there are only a limited number of faces for them. How many pictures are there? Steve, Alex, Inner Dragon, Peak, Sheep, Villager, that's only 6. How can I add more faces? Just open the cube and keep on folding. This is an infinite cube because there are more hidden faces inside. Ale, Fox, Creeper, Magma Cube, Zombie, and Bee. 6 more faces. Next, we are building a fidget with Lego springs. First, I've made this beige piece with a heart-shaped notch in the middle, and I attach it to the spring. When pushing the beige block, it bounces up and down because of the spring. Next, I attach this red axle to the build and make sure its tip stays inside the notch. Put these 2 parts on top of the block, then make a red arrow and stick it between the 2 parts. This time, the red arrow is locked by the 2 parts. You can't put it out unless you press it again, returning it to the original position. This fidget is a locking mechanism and the heart shape provides a perfect loop. Let's continue playing with Lego Springs, and this build is based on the compass from Pirates of the Caribbean. By keeping the original printed pieces and only adding compact Technic parts, I managed to keep the appearance unchanged. But the mechanism inside is the real show. Open up the cover and press the button at the top, and the compass will spin just like the one in the movie. The motion is smooth and satisfying. Moving on to the next topic, we are helping Steve get a good night's sleep, so we need to find him a duvet. Paper tissue is not a good choice, so let's start with a Lego plate. With one face and a rigid surface, it works more like an axe. Then I improved the duvet by giving the plate 4 faces. However, the improvement is rather trivial, so I try harder and make 25 faces for the plate. This time the duvet doesn't knock out Steve, it chops off the bed instead. I realize I need to make the ultimate improvement, adding 100 faces to the Lego duvet. This makes the plate almost feel like a soft texture. Let's try it out. This time the plate drops just like a real duvet and covers Steve's body nicely. With this softness, Steve can finally have a good night's sleep. But I can do even better. By adding Lego money to the cover, I've made the ultimate luxurious duvet for Steve, made him make tons of money. The next build is based on Technic parts. I know a lot of people don't like Technic parts because they don't feel Lego enough, but this one is definitely magical. At first, you think it's a rectangle, but it can be turned into a triangle. If you twist it, it morphs into a cube shape, and then back into a triangle again. Moreover, Technic parts can be used in very smart ways. Like this one, it's a self-locking hook. When 2 of these touch each other, a few movements will make the 2 pins fall into the holes and lock the hooks tightly. You can't separate them no matter how hard you shake or twist, unless you pull out the pins manually, which makes them decouple and release. Next is a satisfying build that resembles a zipper. Between the red blocks, there are gaps that share the same width as this blue block. This way, I've made 2 chains of blocks that can theoretically snap together. I also made this yellow piece that resembles a slider. First, let's try to zip the 2 chains without the slider. Clearly, they won't hold for long. We need that slider. With the help of this slider, the 2 chains zip together tightly in a satisfying way. And yes, this zipper also works in reverse. The next build is based on identical parts like these. First, attach the parts together, they work like parallelograms, and you can continue building by adding more pieces. This creates a curvature, and eventually, you'll get a circle made of these parts. When you rotate it along any axle, the circle retracts into a smaller one. It looks like a sunflower, and the process of extending and retracting is really satisfying. In the comments, tell me, do you like Technic parts or not, and why?